Hello and welcome to our channel where we explore timeless ways to live a healthier life. Before we begin, I have a simple question for you all. What is the first food that comes to your mind when you hear the word soy? It could be a drink, a dish, or even just a bean, so please let me know in the comments below. Forget fleeting diet trends. Some secrets to longevity have been passed down through generations. We're diving deep into the fascinating history of soy and its unexpected connection to extraordinary lifespans around the globe. Prepare to have your perspective on healthy eating transformed as we expose the timeless wisdom of this ancient food. Today we are going to journey back in time to uncover the story of a humble bean that has nourished civilizations for thousands of years. This isn't about a new health fad or a complicated diet plan that's impossible to follow. Instead, we are looking at a simple, powerful food that has been a cornerstone of health for some of the world's longest living people. We're talking about the soybean, a small but mighty legume with a truly remarkable history. Its story begins not in a modern laboratory, but in the ancient fields of Eastern Asia. Historians and botanists believe that the soybean was first cultivated in China nearly 3,000 years ago. It wasn't just another crop. It was considered one of the 5 sacred grains, essential for the survival and prosperity of Chinese civilization. Ancient farmers understood its value not just for its ability to feed people, but for its power to enrich the soil itself. This made it a truly sustainable and life-giving plant, a partner to the people who grew it. From China, the knowledge and cultivation of soy slowly traveled across Asia, becoming a staple in Korea, Japan, and other neighboring regions. Each culture adopted soy and made it their own, creating a wonderful variety of foods that we can still enjoy today. They developed methods of fermentation and preparation that unlocked its nutrients and made it easier to digest. Think of the salty, flavorful miso soup in Japan, the firm and versatile tofu in China, or the spicy, fermented soybean paste used in Korean cooking. These weren't just recipes, they were traditions of health passed down from mother to daughter, from father to son. What's truly fascinating is when we look at the places in the world where people live the longest, healthiest lives, often called blue zones. One of the most famous of these is Okinawa, an island in Japan known for its high number of centenarians, people who live to be 100 years old or more. When researchers studied the traditional Okinawan diet, they found that soy foods like tofu and miso were eaten almost every single day. It was a fundamental part of their meals, providing essential nourishment that supported their long and vibrant lives. They weren't eating highly processed soy powders or engineered soy burgers back then. They were eating soy in its whole traditional forms, prepared with care and wisdom. This connection between a long history of soy consumption and exceptional longevity isn't just a coincidence. It's a clue, a piece of ancient wisdom that modern science is now beginning to fully understand and appreciate. So as we move forward, we'll explore exactly what is inside this incredible bean that gives it such timeless power. Now that we understand its ancient roots, let's look closer at what makes the soybean such a powerhouse of nutrition. It's easy to hear about a food being good for you, but it's more helpful to know exactly why. The soybean is not just a single nutrient food. It is a complex package of many beneficial things your body needs, especially as you get older. Let's break down the key components one by one in a simple way. First and foremost, soy is an incredible source of protein. Protein is the main building block for your body, essential for maintaining strong muscles, repairing tissues, and keeping your immune system robust. As we age, our bodies naturally tend to lose muscle mass, a condition that can lead to weakness and a higher risk of falls. Getting enough high-quality protein in our diet is one of the best ways to combat this. What makes soy protein so special is that it is a complete protein. This means it contains all 9 of the essential amino acids that our bodies cannot make on their own. We have to get these from our food, and soy delivers them all in one package, just like meat, eggs, or dairy do. For a plant-based food, this is quite remarkable and makes soy an excellent choice for everyone. A single cup of cooked soybeans, which is about the amount that would fit in a small cereal bowl, contains over 28 grams of protein. That is more protein than you would find in a similar size serving of cooked chicken. Next up is fiber, another hero component of the soybean. There are 2 types of fiber, soluble and insoluble, and soy contains a healthy dose of both. Fiber is crucial for maintaining good digestive health, helping to keep your bowel movements regular and preventing constipation. It also acts like a sponge in your digestive system, helping to manage cholesterol levels. Furthermore, fiber helps to slow down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. This is incredibly important for maintaining stable energy levels throughout the day and is particularly beneficial for those managing blood sugar. A diet rich in fiber also helps you feel fuller for longer, which can help in maintaining a healthy weight. Just 1 cup of edamame, which are young green soybeans, provides about 8 grams of fiber. That is nearly a third of the recommended daily intake for many older adults, all from a simple and delicious snack. The soybean also contains healthy fats, which are vital for our well-being. We often hear about good fats and bad fats, and soy is firmly in the good category. It is naturally low in saturated fat, the type that can contribute to heart problems. Instead, it is rich in polyunsaturated fats, including the famous omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Our bodies need these fats but cannot produce them, so we must get them from our diet. Omega-3 fatty acids are particularly important for brain health, helping to protect our memory and cognitive function as we age. They also play a significant role in reducing inflammation throughout the body, which is linked to many chronic diseases. The fats in soy help to keep your heart ticking along smoothly and your mind sharp and clear. Beyond the big three of protein, fiber, and fat, soy is packed with essential vitamins and minerals. It is a wonderful source of iron, which is necessary for creating red blood cells that carry oxygen around your body. A lack of iron can lead to fatigue and a feeling of weakness, so getting enough is very important. A half block of tofu can provide about 15% of your daily iron needs, similar to what you'd get from a large handful of fresh spinach. Soy is also rich in magnesium, a mineral involved in over 300 processes in the body, including muscle function, nerve signaling, and maintaining a steady heartbeat. It also contains a good amount of folate, a B vitamin that is crucial for cell growth and repair. Many soy products like soy milk are also fortified with extra nutrients that are especially important as we get older. They often have added calcium and vitamin D, the dynamic duo for bone health. Just 1 glass of fortified soy milk can provide as much calcium as a glass of cow's milk, helping to keep your bones strong and resilient. Finally, we come to what many scientists consider soy's most unique and powerful component: isoflavones. This might sound like a complicated scientific term, but the idea is quite simple. Isoflavones are a type of natural plant compound known as a phytoestrogen. The word phyto means plant, and estrogen refers to the hormone. So these are plant-based compounds that have a structure similar to the estrogen our own bodies produce. However, they are much weaker than our own estrogen, and they behave differently in the body. Instead of causing problems, these gentle plant compounds can actually offer protective benefits. They can attach to the same spots on our cells that estrogen does, and in doing so, they can help to balance hormonal activity. This unique action is believed to be behind many of soy's most profound health benefits, from protecting our hearts and bones to potentially reducing the risk of certain health issues. We are going to explore these specific benefits in great detail so you can see how these powerful nutrients work together to support a long and healthy life. Now that we understand the rich nutritional profile of soy, let's connect the dots to see how these nutrients translate into real-world health benefits. This is where the ancient wisdom of our ancestors meets modern scientific discovery. We will explore the key areas where a regular intake of whole soy foods has been shown to make a significant positive impact on our health as we age. Let's begin with one of the most important organs in our body, the heart. Heart disease remains a major health concern for many people, but a healthy diet can be one of our most powerful tools for prevention. Soy has been studied extensively for its role in supporting cardiovascular health, and the results are very encouraging. The primary way soy helps the heart is by improving cholesterol levels. You may have heard about good cholesterol, called HDL, and bad cholesterol, called LDL. High levels of LDL cholesterol can lead to the buildup of plaque in our arteries, which is like rust in a pipe, narrowing the passage and making it harder for blood to flow. Numerous studies have shown that consistently including soy protein in your diet can help to lower levels of this bad LDL cholesterol. It is believed that the combination of soy's unique proteins and its fiber content work together to help the body clear out excess cholesterol. The United States Food and Drug Administration was so impressed by the evidence that they authorized a health claim stating that 25 grams of soy protein a day, as part of a diet low in saturated fat and cholesterol, may reduce the risk of heart disease. To put that into perspective, you could get 25 grams of soy protein from eating one block of firm tofu throughout your day. But soy's heart protective benefits don't stop with cholesterol. The isoflavones we mentioned earlier also play a crucial role. These plant compounds appear to help improve the flexibility and health of our blood vessels. As we age, our arteries can become stiff, which can contribute to high blood pressure. Isoflavones seem to help our blood vessels relax and dilate more easily, allowing blood to flow with less pressure. Think of it as making your garden hose more flexible instead of stiff and rigid, which allows water to flow more freely. This effect, combined with the good quality fats and magnesium found in soy, helps to support healthy blood pressure levels. By tackling both high cholesterol and high blood pressure, soy offers a two-pronged approach to keeping your heart strong for years to come. Next, let's talk about something incredibly important for maintaining independence and mobility as we get older: our bones. Osteoporosis, a condition where bones become weak and brittle, is a common concern, particularly for women after menopause. During this time, the body's natural estrogen levels decline, and since estrogen plays a protective role in maintaining bone density, this can lead to accelerated bone loss. This is where soy's isoflavones can be particularly helpful. Because these plant compounds have a structure similar to estrogen, they can gently interact with the estrogen receptors in our bone cells. This interaction is thought to help slow down the rate at which bone is broken down, helping to preserve its strength and density. It's like having a helpful friend step in to continue some of the bone protective work that estrogen used to do. Studies looking at populations that consume a lot of soy have observed that they tend to have stronger bones and lower rates of fractures in their later years. Of course, isoflavones don't work alone in this process. As we discussed, many soy products like fortified soy milk and some types of tofu are excellent sources of calcium and vitamin D. Calcium is the literal building block of our bones, the bricks that make up the structure. Vitamin D is the construction foreman that tells the body how to use that calcium effectively. Without enough vitamin D, the calcium we eat might not even make it into our bones where it's needed most. For older adults, the recommended daily intake of calcium is around 1,200 milligrams. You could achieve this by drinking about 4 glasses of fortified soy milk or by combining soy with other calcium-rich foods throughout your day. By providing both the building blocks, calcium and vitamin D, and the protective managers, isoflavones, soy offers a comprehensive package for maintaining a strong and sturdy skeleton. Now, let's move from the skeleton to the command center of our body, the brain. Keeping our minds sharp and our memories intact is a universal desire as we age. The brain is a very active organ that is vulnerable to a type of damage called oxidative stress, which you can think of as a form of biological rust. This damage is caused by unstable molecules called free radicals, and it can accumulate over a lifetime. Antioxidants are substances that can neutralize these free radicals, protecting our cells from damage. The isoflavones in soy have been shown to have powerful antioxidant properties. By neutralizing these harmful free radicals, isoflavones may help to protect our delicate brain cells from damage, which could support better cognitive function over the long term. Furthermore, the healthy fats found in soy, particularly omega-3s, are vital for brain structure and function. Our brains are actually made up of about 60% fat, so providing them with the right kind of fats is essential for their health. These good fats help to build and maintain the membranes of our brain cells, ensuring that communication between them is swift and efficient. Some research has suggested a link between regular consumption of soy isoflavones and better performance on memory and cognitive tests in older adults. While more research is always needed, the evidence suggests that including soy in your diet is a delicious way to feed your brain the nutrients it needs to stay healthy. For many women, the transition through menopause can bring a host of uncomfortable symptoms, such as hot flashes and night sweats. These symptoms are caused by the fluctuating and declining levels of estrogen in the body. This is another area where the phytoestrogens in soy may offer some relief. Because soy isoflavones can bind to estrogen receptors, they may help to buffer the effects of these hormonal changes. When the body's estrogen is low, these gentle plant estrogens can provide a very mild estrogen-like effect, which can be enough to reduce the frequency and severity of hot flashes for some women. In fact, it has been observed for a long time that women in Asian countries, where soy is a dietary staple, report experiencing far fewer menopausal symptoms compared to women in Western countries. This suggests that a lifelong diet rich in soy may help the body navigate this natural transition more smoothly and comfortably. Finally, we must touch upon a topic that is often surrounded by a lot of confusion and concern: the relationship between soy and cancer risk. This is a complex area, but the bulk of the scientific evidence, especially from large-scale studies of people, points towards a protective effect from whole soy foods. This is particularly true for certain types of hormone-related cancers, such as breast cancer and prostate cancer. Researchers have observed that in countries where people eat soy regularly from a young age, the rates of these cancers are significantly lower. The proposed mechanism again involves the isoflavones. In the case of breast cancer, it's thought that the weak plant estrogens from soy can occupy the estrogen receptors on breast cells. By doing so, they block the body's own, much stronger estrogens from attaching and stimulating cell growth. It's like putting a key with a similar shape, but a different cut into a lock. It fits in the hole, but it doesn't turn the mechanism, and it prevents the real key from getting in. For prostate cancer, similar protective mechanisms are believed to be at play. It is very important to emphasize that these benefits are associated with eating whole soy foods like tofu, edamame, and soy milk. They are not associated with highly processed soy protein supplements or powders. The wisdom lies in the whole food, just as it has been eaten for centuries. Bringing the timeless power of soy into your own kitchen is much easier and more delicious than you might think. There is a whole world of soy foods beyond the simple bean, each with its own unique texture, flavor, and best use. Let's walk through some of the most common and accessible forms of soy so you can feel confident choosing and preparing them. The key is to focus on whole, minimally processed soy foods, as these are the forms that have been enjoyed by the world's healthiest populations for generations. Let's start with one of the simplest and most natural forms, edamame. Edamame are young green soybeans that are harvested before they have fully ripened. You can usually find them in the frozen food section of your supermarket, either still in their pods or already shelled. They have a firm texture and a slightly sweet, nutty flavor that is very pleasant. Preparing them is incredibly easy. You simply need to boil or steam them for a few minutes until they are tender. If they are in the pod, you can sprinkle them with a little salt and enjoy them as a wonderful snack by squeezing the beans directly into your mouth. Shelled edamame are fantastic additions to salads, stir-fries, or grain bowls, adding a vibrant splash of color and a powerful boost of protein and fiber. Next, we have the most famous soy food of all, tofu. Tofu, also known as bean curd, is made by curdling fresh soy milk, pressing it into a solid block and then cooling it. The process is quite similar to how cheese is made from dairy milk. Tofu is incredibly versatile because it has a very mild flavor, which means it acts like a sponge, soaking up the flavors of whatever sauces or spices you cook it with. It comes in different textures which are suited for different types of dishes. You will see soft or silken tofu, which has a very delicate custard-like consistency. This type is perfect for blending into smoothies, making creamy sauces or dressings, or gently adding to miso soup. Then there is firm or extra firm tofu, which holds its shape much better. This is the type you would use for stir-frying, baking, grilling, or crumbling to make a scramble that resembles scrambled eggs. A good tip for firm tofu is to press it before cooking to remove excess water, which allows it to get crispier and absorb marinades more effectively. Another wonderful option, especially if you are interested in fermented foods, is tempeh. Tempeh originated in Indonesia and is made from whole soybeans that have been cooked and then fermented with a special culture. This fermentation process binds the soybeans into a firm, dense cake, Unlike tofu, tempeh has a distinctly nutty and earthy flavor and a much chewier, heartier texture. The fermentation process also has added benefits. It makes the nutrients in the soybeans even easier for your body to absorb, and it provides beneficial probiotics for your gut health. Tempeh is fantastic when it's sliced, marinated, and then baked, pan-fried, or crumbled into sauces, chilies, or pasta dishes. It is a very satisfying and nutrient-dense food. Of course, we cannot forget about soy milk. Soy milk is a popular dairy-free alternative that is made by soaking, grinding, and boiling soybeans with water. It has a creamy texture and is a great option for pouring over cereal, adding to your morning coffee or tea, or using in baking recipes. When you are choosing a soy milk, it's a good idea to look for one that is unsweetened to avoid added sugars. Also, as we mentioned earlier, look for varieties that are fortified with calcium and vitamin D to get that extra bone health boost. An 8-ounce glass of fortified soy milk can be a simple and effective way to get a serving of soy into your day. Lastly, let's talk about traditional fermented soy pastes, like miso. Miso is a staple in Japanese cuisine and is made by fermenting soybeans with salt and a fungus called koji. It results in a thick paste that is packed with a rich, salty, and savory flavor, often described as umami. Miso is most famously used to make miso soup, a simple and comforting broth that is a cornerstone of the traditional Okinawan diet. A little bit of miso paste goes a long way, and it can also be used to make delicious marinades for fish or vegetables, or to add a depth of flavor to salad dressings and sauces. Because it is a fermented food, it also contributes to a healthy gut microbiome. So how much soy should you aim to include in your diet? For most people, aiming for 1 to 2 servings of whole soy foods per day is a wonderful goal. But what exactly is a serving? It's helpful to have some clear examples. 1 serving could be 1 cup or a standard drinking glass full of soy milk. It could be half a block of tofu, which is roughly the size of a deck of playing cards. Or it could be a half cup of cooked edamame or tempeh. You don't need to eat huge quantities to reap the benefits. The key is consistency, making these foods a regular and enjoyable part of your overall healthy eating pattern. By exploring these different forms of soy, you can find the ones you enjoy the most and easily incorporate this ancient secret for a long life into your modern-day meals. Whenever a food becomes as popular and widely discussed as soy, it is natural for questions and concerns to arise. There is a lot of information, and sometimes misinformation, available, which can be confusing. It's important to address these common worries directly, using clear and sensible information based on the majority of scientific research. Let's take a look at some of the most frequent myths and concerns about soy and separate the facts from the fiction. One of the most persistent worries is the idea that soy could increase the risk of cancer, particularly breast cancer. This concern originated from a misunderstanding of the phytoestrogens, the plant estrogens we've been discussing. Because some breast cancers are fueled by the body's own estrogen, people worried that the phytoestrogens in soy might have the same effect. However, this is where the difference between weak plant estrogens and the body's strong human estrogens is critically important. Decades of research, including large-scale studies involving hundreds of thousands of people, have painted a very different picture. These studies, which observe what people actually eat and what their health outcomes are, consistently show that women who consume moderate amounts of whole soy foods actually have a lower risk of developing breast cancer. Furthermore, for women who are breast cancer survivors, major health organizations have concluded that consuming soy foods is safe and may even be beneficial. As we explained before, the gentle phytoestrogens seem to have a protective effect, blocking the stronger, potentially harmful estrogens from affecting the cells. The key takeaway from the vast body of human research is that whole soy foods are not only safe, but are likely protective. Another common myth you may have heard is that soy is bad for men because it could lower testosterone levels or have feminizing effects. This concern is almost entirely based on a few isolated case reports or on studies using extremely high doses of isolated soy compounds, not the whole food. When we look at the broad range of high-quality clinical studies conducted in humans, the conclusion is very clear. Dozens of studies have been reviewed, and the overwhelming consensus is that a normal, moderate intake of soy foods does not have any negative effects on testosterone levels or male reproductive health. Men in Asian cultures have been eating soy for thousands of years as a regular part of their diet, without any such issues. Remember, a serving or two of tofu, edamame, or soy milk per day is a moderate intake and is considered perfectly healthy and beneficial for both men and women. Finally, there is sometimes a question about soy's effect on the thyroid gland. The thyroid is a small gland in your neck that produces hormones that regulate your metabolism. Soy contains compounds that, in very large amounts, could potentially interfere with the thyroid's ability to absorb iodine, which it needs to function properly. However, for people with a healthy thyroid and an adequate intake of iodine, this is not a practical concern. Most people in developed countries get more than enough iodine from iodized salt and other foods. The situation is slightly different for individuals who have an existing underactive thyroid condition and are taking thyroid medication. For these individuals, it's not that they need to avoid soy, but rather they should be consistent with their intake. A large and sudden change in soy consumption could potentially affect the absorption of their medication. The best advice for anyone with a pre-existing thyroid condition is to simply talk with their doctor about their diet and to take their thyroid medication on an empty stomach, separate from any food including soy, as is generally recommended. For the vast majority of people, soy is a perfectly safe and healthy food that will not cause any thyroid problems. In summary, the major fears surrounding soy are not supported by the balance of scientific evidence from human studies. The wisdom passed down through generations in cultures known for their longevity aligns with what modern science is telling us. Focusing on whole soy foods, eaten in moderation as part of a balanced diet, is a safe, healthy, and powerful strategy for a long and vibrant life. We have traveled a long way on our journey today, from the ancient fields of China to the modern science laboratory. We have rediscovered the timeless power of a humble bean that has sustained and nourished people for millennia. Let's take a moment to bring together the key lessons we have learned about soy and its secrets for a long life. We learned that soy is not a new trend, but an ancient food with a rich history, deeply woven into the fabric of the world's longest living cultures. Its consistent presence in the diets of people in places like Okinawa is a powerful testament to its life-sustaining qualities. We delved into what makes soy so special, uncovering its incredible nutritional profile. It is a rare plant-based source of complete protein, essential for keeping our muscles strong as we age. It is packed with fiber for good digestion and heart health, and full of healthy fats to nourish our brains. It provides a wealth of essential vitamins and minerals that support our overall well-being. And of course, it contains those unique isoflavones, the special plant compounds that appear to be responsible for many of its most profound benefits. We saw how these nutrients work together to protect our bodies in very specific and important ways. Soy helps to guard our heart by improving cholesterol levels and keeping our blood vessels flexible. It supports strong bones, which is crucial for maintaining mobility and independence throughout our lives. It provides antioxidants that may help protect our brains and keep our minds sharp. And it has been shown to be a safe and likely protective food when it comes to the risk of certain health conditions. Most importantly, we've learned that the best way to enjoy these benefits is the way it has always been done, by eating soy in its whole and minimally processed forms. Choosing tofu, tempeh, edamame, and soy milk over highly processed soy powders and additives is the key. A moderate and consistent intake of 1 or 2 servings a day is a simple, achievable goal that can make a real difference. The story of soy is a beautiful example of how simple, traditional foods often hold the most profound secrets to good health. It's about getting back to basics and embracing the wisdom that comes from a food that has truly stood the test of time. I hope this exploration has cleared up any confusion and inspired you to look at the humble soybean in a new light. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this information helpful and would like to learn more about timeless secrets to healthy living, please consider subscribing to our channel. The information shared in this video is based on extensive research and experience in nutrition and is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice. I am not a doctor, and you should always consult with your healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet or lifestyle.